upset women. I think it's fair to say the book has something, not a lot, but something negative to say about black men. Quote, "It is rare to find an adult black man who doesn't have a lengthy history of being with other women. He may have anywhere from 10 upwards to 500 women in his lifetime. Is it impossible for a black man to be monogamous? Well, Ashiel Ben Israel says it is. He has 3 wives, 11 children. He says he just has to have more than one woman in his life to make him happy." This is Sharp James. He says he's insulted by this because he is happily married to one woman. By the way, Mr. James, Sharp James, is the mayor of one of the largest cities in the United States, Newark, New Jersey. We'll start with Ashiel. 3 wives? Isn't one enough?
I think we need to put this in the historical context. We're not talking about playing with the lives of black women or black men. We're looking at a critical point in the development and the evolution of our people. As the 60s exploded and we were subjected as a people across this country as non-human, we then began to look back to our historical roots. We realized that black men, as it emerges now, Governor of Virginia is now being accused of having a woman. We're looking now and we're talking about Julian Bond and his marriage broke up. We're talking about black men across this country. Jesse Jackson, every time he runs, someone accuses him of having outside relationships. We looked and saw that Adam Clayton Powell right here in New York City was drummed out of Congress because of supposedly an external affair. But we're now looking at homosexuality is acceptable. But when a man who says he loves and respects women, black women particularly, is then denigrated for suggesting that he has to support, love, and nurture that's something to play with. We were raised in America in an Eurocentric approach to life. That's not our nature.
I don't quite understand.
Listen to me.
No, but wait. I want to stop you on this one point.
Let me complete this sentence.
Okay.
So a society that superimposed its ideas and its values on African men now judges as immoral. When you go back to the history of black men, you will find out that they did not say that prostitution was the oldest institution in the world. That came out of Europe. Black men loved and brought women into their family, and that's what we've gone back to do.
So it is the black... Okay, it is the black man's heritage, then, to have multiple wives, and if he didn't follow the European way of doing things, he would follow the African way of doing things.
Now,
let me ask the mayor, because I think that's what you said.
I want to let the mayor know what the situation is in the state of New Jersey. In the northeastern, in New Jersey, in northeastern states, the disparity in marriageable males and females are staggering. For example, in New Jersey, there are 24 males to every 100 females. And in Pennsylvania, there are only 24 men to every 100 women.
Sally,
let me let the mayor talk.
That's not the issue in this book.
No.
If 3 women want to be his wife, and he respects them and whatever, and if Shahrazad want to have a man that slaps her in the mouth, that's fine. But when she writes a book that's too young and fresh, see, I don't have the problem. I'm a matriarch. I'm 45.
What we
Nobody's going to hit me in the mouth. But young women out here,
talking about in the book.
Young women out here are going to think that's the way you live with a man.
Out of control.
But you believe that I am addressing myself to his honor. Sir.
I'm an Afro-American born here in America, and I believe I'm opposed to a polygamy. And I believe one man, one woman can live together and be happy. If you get married and you take the vows, then you ought to accept those standards, so don't get married. But I wanted to say that the whole question here is that I believe that the black woman is not out of control, not outrageous, and I believe that the progress we've made has been on the backs of black women in our society. But I agree with many statements of the author in the book, but I think they're not peculiar to black women. When you talk about low-level people, you talk about mainstream, you talk about high class, it fits white women, black women,
about us.
and others too.
I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us. wait a minute.
Excuse
I'm talking
me.
about us.
Right.
Excuse me,
Now,
I just want to...
your political affiliation, but are you telling me you sitting here on national television and telling me you ain't had but one woman in the last 30 years?
That is correct.
That's a lie, brother. That's not
Excuse
true.
me.
That's just not the truth. That's just not the truth. That's just not the
about
truth.
I'm out of control.
That's just not the
Okay,
truth.
And she says I'm out of
That's
control.
not the truth.
Hello?
And it's not
Grandma doesn't know this man.
And that's
she's
not
not
representative of
Mildred.
all black men in this country.
Let me say this.
She doesn't know black
Excuse
women. That's
me.
why this book is
Excuse
about
me.
her.
I
Excuse
think
me.
the danger,
Hello, up here.
the danger
I just want to make a
of the
comment.
entire discussion is to make generalization and then blame
No, that's just
everyone
not the truth. You are
that
not
fits the
representative
generalization.
then of the 99% of the black men who read my book who say that it's absolutely true. We need to talk to the brothers. Certainly the women are going to say it's not true.
Then allow me to be the 1% that do not agree or live that lifestyle.
Wait.
The only reason, go ahead. The only reason we got the reputation of being the backbone of the black nation.
Let me give
this
this man. First of all, he's not under discussion, and that was really an unfair question. However, if he says what he, well, he didn't call her a prostitute.
No, she did.
He said he's been married one time, and she says he's a lie. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been
All right.
one woman.
Right
You
down
ain't had no man at all.
I just wanted to, I just
really
wanted to say to you,
need
just, I just wanted to know if you have any kids, right? And I want to
I have
make,
12
you have
children.
12 children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I just want to make a comment to you also. I want to make a comment. With all this negativity, you talk about the black man, the black woman. That's exactly why they say us black people cannot get together in unity. That's exactly why. Because you talk about all these things about the black man hitting on the women. That's what a lot of abuse.
That book has 18
okay,
chapters,
fine.
sister.
I'm listening.
That's not
I'm
all
looking
it
into
says.
this book.
The way
and
to
it
avoid
says,
that is
and
not
it
get
says,
out
and
of
it
order.
says right here, oh, she's talking back to me and she's not doing.
No,
She
that's
says
not
it.
the truth.
You said it. You say it in your book. And I think it's that's low self-esteem. It's not.
Yes.
As a black man who is politically as well as spiritually conscious, when this book is read in the context in which Shahrazad is writing it, we are not beastly men that hate black women.
That's right.
We are talking about a system of evolving to a point where African Americans and African men now have to sit as responsible beings. And if you lay out a structure, no man is about to destroy and be the very instrument that brings life into the world, that nurtures his wife. She's not talking about that. I did not get the feeling that if I read the book, it was a license for me to disrespect
That's right.
black
I
women.
say don't there are many guys.
Excuse me.
But there are many guys out there that's not confused.
All right, we're not going to get anybody's attention. All right, I've got to, come on with me, can you? Oh, I'm squeezing you, all right. Come on around. We'll bring you. We got to get you to talk in simple one-sentence things
Life is
here.
not simple.
I know, but television is, sir. Having nothing, no disrespect.
Look at that
Go.
gorgeous child.
Hi.
You don't deserve to get hit in the mouth. honey.
And nobody's going to hit her anymore.
Hi, I have a question for you. I have to assume that the underlying reason why you wrote the book is to keep the black family together.
Yes,
And I just want to know how do you propose to do that if the book is telling the black man it's okay to beat on the black woman?
It's not telling him
let's
that
just
in
get to
that
the
way.
point,
There are a
'cause I
lot of
really
other
wanna know.
things. What the book
Tell me.
describes, sister, and you're young, and this is important that you hear this, is a negative pattern of behaviors that we as black women have practiced in our homes that have separated us from our men. Now, here today, we have had a perfect example. I'm sitting here trying to represent dignity, self-control, and cooperation, and then we have a woman sitting here who is representing the opposite. So we need to ask the black man, which woman would he choose, me or her?
I have had a husband who I'm divorced from who says that he cannot remember the bad times. He can only remember the good times. I didn't say that I could not love a black man. I did not say I didn't cherish you. But what I'm saying, honey, is that I want you to be a man, not a woman.
Well, you can't
ain't got
define for him how to be a man. Well, we can define
You
how to
don't
make
have
a
to
woman.
beat me to get
You
along
can't
with
define
I
that.
respect you the way you are. You don't have
All
to
right.
beat me. Shahrazad has over $1 million worth of sales.
Excuse me, lady.
That's why she
Hey,
wrote the book.
lady, can I say something, please? To the Mrs. what's her name? With the one that wrote the book? Is it that your mother was like this for the reason why you assumed that this is the way
Good
things
question.
were supposed to
No,
have
ma'am.
been?
I studied us as black women across this
But
country.
then, if you
And I
studied
asked
us
the
like
black
black
man.
women, then tell me something. Why you don't mention the black doctors in the world, the judges in the world? Why you don't
Well, we
mention that the
always have
mothers
books
that
about
break
that.
their
We have
back
not seen
to
the dark
make
side of the
something
moon.
for their children,
Very
to
good.
grow up to tell people that we are no better than prostitutes?